Welcome back to the EJ Ward Field View Training Series. In this video, we're going to be going over the Ward 4 CANceiver Logs and Events. So to get there, we need to drop down the CANceiver Management folder, and we have both our CANceiver Events and our CANceiver Logs. The biggest difference is the logs are going to be one line per CANceiver and show all the latest information that it has, and our events are going to be each event that comes in one at a time. So we're going to go ahead and go to CANceiver Events first. And we're going to query back for a while because we haven't had a CANceiver connect to this server. And so now here we can see all of these events that come through. So whenever a CANceiver connects to a server, it's going to drop all of these events one at a time. It does it very quickly because these events are pretty small, but we see each event individually. So we can see that this one had an odometer. It shows that it had 50 for the odometer. It's showing in miles. We had it was for an ignition on for the current interval. Then we had the GPS latitude and longitude with it, all the tracking information that we have for it, and everything for that event. With a log, the difference with that one is the log shows every single CANceiver that's in the system and any CANceiver ID that's with it, but then it's also going to show what type of main configuration it has. It shows the last time it connected. It shows the firmware version that it has. It shows the VIN number, and the OBD VIN is the one it's getting off the OBD. The VIN override is the one if you're putting an overrided VIN inside of the JetScan. We have a card number that's associated with it, our OBD version number. We have if it needs a main configuration or not. We also have if it needs a network configuration or not. And we can drop down columns and we can choose other ones. So if it needs a runtime configuration, which is your immediate configuration, and all that sorts of information, but it's going to be in one line for each CANceiver. So I can see all of my CANceivers in the system, and I can see whether or not they need a main configuration or not. So with the main configuration and the network configuration, it's going to be 0 if they do not need one, and it will be 1 if they do need one. So we can see that we have these guys set, but they haven't gotten one yet. And then we have all these guys set with main configurations, and they haven't gotten it yet. But the next time it connects to it, it will change that to a 0. So if you're setting up a CANceiver inside of the system, the biggest thing to do is to look at the CANceiver log itself after you actually set the main configuration or the network configuration for it, and then let the CANceiver connect, and then look at the log again to make sure that it's actually changing to 0, which means it has that configuration. You can also double check on the main configuration. It shows that it has. So just to reiterate, we have our logs here, which is a CANceiver per line, and it has all the information on what the CANceiver has on it and the firmware and all that information. And then in the CANceiver events, we have all of the event information that the CANceivers are pulling in one piece at a time. So it's just going to show each line for itself. It's going to show all the information on that event, and each event's going to have its own line. So that concludes the video on the Ward 4 CANceiver Logs and Events. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.